Today, we're going to talk about 7 habits of highly effective marketers. So this is a variation of the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which I highly recommend. But we're going to talk about this in the context of marketers. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So number 1, the best marketers in the world have a knack for experimentation. When you have a scientific mindset, when you're willing to test things out, you understand that maybe around 11-12% of your tests are going to be successful and the rest are going to be duds. But you're going to keep moving, you're going to keep iterating, you're going to keep experimenting, and you're not going to let successes get you too high or the failures get you too low. And most marketers, they start to become a little maybe complacent, or they don't want to rock the boat or anything like that. But if you want to become top tier, that's what you got to do to get better. So number 2, having a repurposing framework. So there's so many disparate channels right now. You have LinkedIn, SMS, you have SEO. There's just so many channels out there, and it starts to become difficult to manage things. And it's just way easier when you start with a pillar piece of content. For example, this video could be the pillar, and then we can repurpose these and chop these up into reels, into shorts. We can post it onto LinkedIn. But having a content repurposing framework, that's going to take you a long way, because you can have that one pillar piece that can help you make maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, 80 pieces of content. And sure, you're going to need more resources to do that. But if you're able to do that, then that actually takes a lot of work off of whoever it is that is kind of the face of the company. Now, number 3 is a learning machine. Some of the best marketers that I know that have gone on to become great entrepreneurs, they're still learning machines. They are still out there listening, reading, sharing content, attending conferences. So the best marketers know that they don't know what they don't know. And things are changing so quickly in the world of marketing that what you knew maybe a year ago is now irrelevant. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button because it helps the YouTube algorithm. Now, number 4 is who, not how. So what I mean by that is a lot of marketers, they tend to think, okay, well, if I read something, if I talk to someone else, maybe I should just do it myself. I should just figure out how to do it. Instead of thinking about how you can do something, like that's great, but what's higher leverage is actually figuring out who can do it. Who's actually been there and done that before, and who can you go out there to hire that's actually done it so they can just do it for you. You need resources to do this, but the idea here is you want to become one of the most effective marketers in the world. You have to be able to become a great recruiter, and you have to be a great delegator as well. And most marketers cap themselves out because they become great individual contributors or ICs, but they can't think beyond that, right? And so their growth, their upside is then capped. Number 5 is it's actually about building a media company. And what I mean by that is when you look at newsletters out there, such as The Morning Brew, you look at HubSpot acquiring The Hustle, which is a newsletter. When you build an entire ecosystem, you're building a community around it. You have multiple sources or different types of shows out there. You're basically creating a media ecosystem. It's not just you're writing a bunch of blog posts. That is still effective, but you have to think about leveraging the different assets that are available. And building a media company too also means during events, right? Or during dinners and things like that. That kind of goes into the media arm, right? And we're not expecting necessarily like an ROI out of it immediately. It's just great people. It's great networking. That's not to say, oh my God, like that's going to help us get clients. Now, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think I might have missed so far in terms of the 7 habits of highly effective marketers. I'm keen to know what your thoughts are. Number 6, someone that knows how to connect the dots. And what I mean by that is if you're able to think outside the box, and I know that's a very conceptual term, but when you think about maybe all the assets that you have, all the relationships that you have, what type of angles can you figure out? And that requires more strategic thinking. And the only way you're going to evolve your strategic thinking is by being a learning machine, right? And then are you able to then take a look at all the assets that you have, everything that's available to you. For example, I've done so many podcast interviews over the years. I know a lot of CEOs from that. I can probably have these people speak at a virtual event, or maybe if someone needs something, I can make a connection there, but I'm always thinking about how I can connect the dots. Whatever it is exactly, I'm always personally trying to figure out what the angle is, what assets are available to me, and then that's going to help you go further because you are now thinking outside the box. What's really important if you really want to level up is hanging out with people that are better than you. And what I mean by that is people that are not just one level above you, maybe they're a couple levels above you, right? And then what happens is as you start to level up in your career, you are be able to hang out in masterminds, right? These are known as peer groups, or you can call them masterminds. I hang out in different peer groups myself with other entrepreneurs or like, let's say investors or marketers. These groups, the information that's shared in here often is not shared online. When people are hanging out with each other, they like to share, right? When you're breaking bread with people, they like to share information. Sometimes people like to one-up each other, but being in these peer groups, you're not only learning how to become a better marketer, but you're building lifelong friendships with people that have similar mindsets with you. And that's worth its weight in gold because the relationships are arguably worth a lot more than any tactic that you're going to learn from this stuff. If your business needs help with marketing, you can go to singlegrain.com. That's the ad agency that I have. Or if you're looking for marketing work, go to singlegrain.com/work because we're always hiring amazing marketers. Tell us what you're amazing at. And don't forget to check out the next video over there. And goodbye.